of scaling into that late game. They also have a nice amount of engage with the Kennen and the Jarvan.
Triple teleport as well on the side of Kingzone. So, match point, they're going to put all their eggs into the scaling basket. And we're going to have to see how that works out for them here against SKT. Galio, Ezreal, Akali, Kha'Zix, and Sylas on the side of SK Telecom. Very powerful 2-item wake up, but definitely has some scaling components that can go into the later stages. Not nearly as strong as Kingzone's, but they're not out of it at 3 items per se.
Yeah, excited for Teddy's Ezreal.
Yeah.
That's really the one I'm looking at there for SKT.
That is the big highlight potentially, as Kingzone, Kennen, Jarvan the Fourth, Azir, Sivir, and Thomas Kench down there in the bottom lane to act as a safety net. Now this is the team that's trying to go late game and then have wombo combo engages backed up by the Sivir raw DPS.
Looks like a fun and exciting comp here. Let's jump into it for Game 3. How about a call start to get things going even faster?
Deft has accepted his face down in the bottom lane.
Yeah. As Hail of Blades here also for Pawn on the Azir.
It's going to be a little bit interesting against Faker on the Akali. We'll see how it ends up working out for him. If Kingzone's team composition falls behind, it is important to note that unless all the gold is inside of Ezreal, it's still going to be pretty difficult for SK Telecom to raise turrets. And so Sivir and Azir are still going to be able to sit back comfortably and continue farming. Minion Dematerializer for both of them.
Yeah.
Ghost Burrow for Kingzone. I do like that.
It's funny how even after the change, Minion Dematerializer is still taken by supports, mid laners, and everyone, basically.
Well, it's a very all-in type of Sylas Electrocute.
Yeah.
Definitely not one I see that often, as Cuz is going to be starting on the blue buff. Leashless. You like that? I can't speak
okay
today. No, I'm really not. Allergies are they're really clouding my head.
You buying that house without a lease, or like what's going on?
Well, Clid looks like he wants to 3-path into bottom Scuttle Crab, but Cuz gonna start getting that Scuttle Crab right away. SK Telecom are gonna know about it. So he's opting for a full clear. And this is a little bit surprising because you could look at Kingzone and think to yourself, well, can Clid actually gank any of my laners? And the answer is no. So what is the obligation to stunt the rubber band on all of your camps and get these Scuttle Crabs really early? Now, if he goes crab to crab and then proceeds into Krugs, I guess that's not the worst route. And then he does a wraparound, and that could end up being okay. He would end up getting slightly later rubber band camps on the Raptors and Krugs, but he has the 2 Scuttle Crabs to amplify his clear. And we'll see if he proceeds right into red, or where is he going to go?
See a ton of inspiration second on this patch, as so many people have it. Also, Ravenous Hunter, really good. As everybody who did go into Domination did end up picking that up.
Baker just trying to sustain here in mid lane against this Azir. Dematerializer having to be used. He's down 5 CS, not the end of the world. And Teddy is putting on quite some hurt down in bottom lane. Deft has teleport, so it's not the end of the world. Deft also has +1 CS right now, as he has 16 call stacked. Jarvan trying to come down to offset the pressure, but if this gank goes poorly, it's going to end up putting Deft and Tushin behind. Curious if SKT is going to read it.
Going to miss on the flag and drag for the Ezreal. And then just gets gobbled up runs away. Still in the bush. Just now he's backing as Mata, thinking about it, but not going to take the risk. Yeah, Lepto in the top lane here should be the AP for this cannon.
Not totally sure about the electrocute. I'm waiting to be made a believer in it because it just seems so difficult to reliably proc it consistently against the cannon. Especially in the later stages, but we'll see. As Faker getting bullied a little bit, but Rascal's very low. Khan is out of mana. Does have a biscuit available, but Clid nowhere near. So Khan's just gonna have to recall.
Yeah, just recalling there, and of course Rascal is gonna do the same. Death still stacking up the cull. It's the only item he's got in his inventory right now. Very different compared to the 6-item cannon poggers in the top lane. Feels good, man.
Scuttle Crab now spawning. Bottom river, but SK Telecom, they're the ones with priority. Cuz is committing a lot to this. I think that Tushin wanted to come over to see if he could get the Tongue Lash Devour combo and maybe steal it away. It's not going to be the case, and Infernal Dragon being the first one of the game, super important for both of these team compositions. A little bit more so for SK Telecom. They have 4 members that can really use that amplification, whereas on Kingzone only really have 3.
Thought maybe Rascal would go in on that one as he was level 6 and Khan was level 5, but decided against it. Perhaps didn't have enough energy to get the whole combo down. Yeah, just farming it up here. As we do have another lull state in the beginning of this game, kind of like game number 2, and as we mentioned, Kingzone going to be happy about that one with their scaling comp.
And so now, at this point, Khan trying to continuously push in Rascal on this cannon. Trying to do whatever he can to try to set up lethal, potentially in top lane, as Cuz is making his way towards the top-hand side of the map, but if he ends up getting spotted on a ward, they could convert the bottom lane pressure into the Infernal capture, and now Tushin gonna have to come over and potentially check on it. Doesn't actually commit to checking it all the way. A little bit surprising.
That was kind of interesting that he didn't go. He's gonna go now. And be happy to see that there's no Kha'Zix doing it. But Lid going back down could attempt it, but would be pretty hard. Looking now with the red buff at opportunities in the blue side jungle here, maybe for the blue pass off. Doesn't end up committing to it, especially because Tushin is nearby.
A really safe game here coming out from both sides. Blue buff handoff is successful. The problem with it, though, is that Pawn has not any good items. That was a really weird way of saying it. But basically, he hasn't
got there.
I got there in the end. Dragged it across the finish line. The allergies are really destroying my brain today.
Khan says, well, this tool is effective at pushing.
That was actually a really nice slicing Maelstrom. I really liked that because he's trying to convert it into a plate capture up here in top. He doesn't actually want to get into melee range of the turret because then Rascal could just slicing Maelstrom and guarantee that Khan would take some turret shots. And then because Clid isn't in close enough proximity yet, it's not like going tit for tat would be that wise of a trade. Instead, red buff gonna be stolen away. And what type of lane manipulation can Khan do to potentially set Rascal up for a dive? Doesn't look like any. And Cuz is about to be a pretty sad camper here as the EQ's over.
He's not going to have his red, but at least he saved all the Raptors. And we'll get those. First plate does go to Khan in the top lane. As you did mention, the slow push eventually gets him that extra gold. Like how he's also got 2 biscuits in his inventory, just waiting for the right moment to use those.
Well, here in mid lane, Faker has recovered and fixed the CS differential. And so SK Telecom now find themselves 300 gold ahead. I'm sure that quite a bit of that is actually inside of the Kleptomancy on the Ezreal. Imagine that he is proccing it a little bit more reliably than the Ken.
Also, the plate gives a nice amount of gold as
really nice pushback by Deft.
Yeah.
All right, we're scaling.
Yeah, we're just you know, sitting back, taking a little break.
Are you excited for Avengers Endgame?
Yeah.
In 3 weeks?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I think you're sarcastic. I think the game's getting to you.
I just, you know, it's my favorite series, the Avengers series.
Yeah. Yeah, who's in the Avengers, Calvin?
Aquaman, Spider-Man definitely is in there.
You got one.
Is he really?
Spider-Man is, yeah.
Oh. It's funny, I was choosing him because I thought he was I thought he wasn't in the Avengers. Ultimate use here by Clid, as he's desperately trying to get some action going. He doesn't care about the Avengers.
Yeah. Definitely does not.
We might get some action here on the Infernal. As, well.
Control ward, yeah.
You're thinking about it, yeah.
Pit. This is a...
First Infernal of the series, actually.
Yeah, this is an extremely fun game here.
Faker,
definitely as action-packed as game 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's good stuff. You see Faker play a lot of Akali and solo queue. You have to know that this guy is extremely practiced on this champion.
Doesn't actually end up hitting the dragon. With that, Gust was Mata. Might have been able to do a little bit more damage had he aggroed the Infernal Drake. Could have potentially hit them a little bit more. Faker places a ward down right in front of the control ward.
Observer hop back, he was like, maybe we can get some damage here. And it actually did push Tushin a little bit out of lane, as he is going to go for a back.
I guess the issue is, though, is that he has the Abyssal Voyage.
Yeah, he also does have the Unsealed Spellbook. Not going to use that, though. As Faker's going in, he wants a kill here on a Pawn, as actually Pawn trying to turn it around. But in goes the Consume as Mata now.
Oh, Mata!
In trouble, but he gets the kill and flashes away the bloodthirsty support from downtown. Gets first blood.
What a grand entrance for first blood. SK Telecom, they picked themselves that up. Oh, Tushin not able to deny the recall. Really unfortunate, as this means that Akali is going to be able to come back and match priority and now have control over the Infernal. You can see Pawn. Beautiful ultimate. Tom Kenchal was able to actually get Pawn to safety, but he got spit out into the Galio.
Oh, boy.
I have to wonder who did that, because we can see that Pawn's immediate click was on the other side of Tom Kench.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's him that was clicking. So maybe it actually was Tushin. Maybe Tushin just betrayed his own team.
It's like, you're not going anywhere, buddy. Go back into the fire.
Oh, man.
It is interesting that he stayed around. It's almost like he wanted to punish Mata for being under turret with the Cataclysm. Maybe Cuz was saying, wait, let's kill him. But he ended up killing his teammate instead.
Oh, man.
Galio lived, as Cataclysm's pretty good to lock Rascal in.
Oh, wow.
As he even gets the cannon on the backside.
That's a very nice ultimate by Khan. Getting the flash out of Rascal. Flash on Kennen is so important in mid-game team fights. That's going to be down now until about 18 minutes. But coming in here, wants to solo the Rift Herald.
Yeah. Looks like he evolved that Q, so having a bit of fun. Taking out objectives pretty fast, and we'll go for that before the Infernal. And it's kind of unfortunate timing as it is for that one.
Oh.
Oh, big whip from the side, but did have a nice little wall set up to help him up against that Akali. Generally, Akali doesn't care about walls, but was enough to deter that as the Rift Herald will go the way of Klid.
And it is 14 minutes, so no turret plate's going to be able to be captured. And right now, if you're a Kingzone fan, one of the things that you can sit back comfortably and relax about is that they have the late game scaling. SK Telecom are not that far ahead. This is a very similar song and dance as game number 1, except now the roles are reversed. Or game number 2, where the roles are now reversed. Kingzone are going to be the ones with the wave clear and the ability to deny pushes.
Yeah.
And SK Telecom are going to be the ones that are reduced to somehow convincing Kingzone to come out of their base. Now, Infernal Drakes and Mountain Drakes are certainly a way to do it. And so maybe SK Telecom, they're just going to roll better. That's how it works.
It's a good way. I like that strategy. And yeah, I mean, that Infernal, extremely important for scaling team, but also both teams. I mean, a lot of damage on the side of SKT. Even from the jungle, they both love an Infernal. In this one would help SKT even scale a bit better than they do. As we have had a bit of action in the top lane. Nobody has died, though, and the CS is basically exactly even. So not too much from up there.
Kingzone maybe want to just start this Infernal.
Looks like it. Two-shot barrage is used on the wave.
Wow, they're just going to get it.
Yeah, it's just going to go down, and I mean, SKT didn't seem like they had any idea, or if they did, they just said, yeah, let them have it. And we have another Infernal coming up in 5 minutes.
And so Kingzone are sitting pretty right now, as they don't have to do anything anymore. No neutral objectives on the map. Go ahead, summon the Rift Herald. All right, doesn't look like they want to do it. SK Telecom,
they don't have to listen to you.
Yeah, they're going to get the first turret of the game up there in top lane, and now Deft and Tushen, they're going to be the ones pushing back. SK Telecom are going to be diminished to a team fighting team composition. And they're going to have their work cut out for them. And so now, can SK Telecom do here in game number 3 what Kingzone failed to do in game number 2?
Yeah. And if they can, that would be very convincing that SKT, in fact, are the better team. You can win on both sides of the coin. Obviously, it's not the exact same composition, but it's very similar in terms of the way that it does play out. As Klid, he's going hunting. He's going to be in there for a long time, as with that red smite, man, he does damage, flashing on in. He will be able to get the kill, but now he's in the Cataclysm and is not going to be able to do much. As Faker looking for it here. The Devour does come in, but we have Khan in here as well as Pawn goes down. Looked like almost in the belly there, maybe to the Ignite, as Faker was able to pick up another kill.
That was a very nice clutch pickup as well, as now they don't have the wave clear necessary to hold this mid-tier 1-0 ban.
The double taunts, they're at least going to get Cuz here. Faker and Khan looking for more. They have Cataclysm, but they do get the teleport out of Rascal. And meanwhile all across
Teddy,
the map, down in the bottom lane, the push is going on. SKT trying to accelerate this game.
And not only that, but getting the key teleport out of Rascal means that he won't have it unless he moves into the bottom lane to be in close proximity for the upcoming Infernal Drake. Rift Herald summon in mid lane. Talk about all the time how important the mid-tier 1 turret is for champions like Azir, Victor, Zoe, Xerath. And so if it ends up falling here, which doesn't look like it's going to, I don't think Shelly's going to get a charge. Whoa. No, she's really angry.
I think she's dancing.
She's dancing.
She's having a lot of fun in this game.
Yeah, dancing right into her demise. It's like watching the Titanic 2.
More like Rip Herald.
I
get it?
You did there. That was so
funny.
Oh!
Thanks for the leash, says Pawn. As take another look at how Deft did not see this coming at all.
Yeah, quite literally. I mean, he was even, I believe, channeling his recall right there. Didn't have anywhere to go. Cuz and Tushen able to wrap him up right at the very end there. Faker coming in, which was very interesting because I would have expected that the Emperor's Divide came out sooner instead of the Devour. But then this was because Intuition staying underneath the turret a lot longer than they were allowed to, getting a lot of valuable summoners was SKT. In the end, though, Tier 1 turret still held in mid. Infernal Drake, minute and a half. Khan has teleport available. Rascal does not. This should be an Infernal Drake being picked up by SKT.
Should be. We'll see if that does come to fruition, though. Still a minute on the clock here before that does show its face. As already trying to set up for it, it looks like, is the side of SKT. Mata going back, maybe wants to pick up another control ward. Not quite able to make that redemption yet, which is pretty unfortunate. Would be nice to have for the team fight that's coming in, as now Teddy's got a blue buff, and we all know what happens when Teddy starts to get going.
Well, Teddy is going to be the one saving grace in the out for SK Telecom the longer that this game goes on, is it's going to come down to the Ezreal Pope to try to keep them alive against the Sivir and the Azir if this game ends up going 30, 35 minutes without SK Telecom amassing a large enough advantage to convert into Baron captures and then try to bulldoze through the enormous amount of wave clear on the side of Kingzone. Trying to force Deft back. As 3 seconds until the Infernal Drake is up, it does look like Klid is in position to just eat this. What is that itemization? Edge of Night.
Yeah.
Is the first lethality item of choice. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It's interesting. I mean, it allows him.
Yeah.
It allows him to get in to the back line a little bit more efficiently.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously you're giving up some other stats and stuff, but I suppose that's one of the better utility offensive items, you could say.
He just used it. Is he going to jump on Azir?
Yeah, he's going in. Well, it's not going to last long enough as he is knocked into the
Pawn
turret, but
flash
will get
into
the kill. As, yeah, Pawn also used his flash on top of the Kha'Zix.
Pawn said he felt bad. He's like, here. Here.
Take me with you.
You should have had me.
Here, you deserve this. It was a good play, I agree.
A for effort.
There you go. Pressure in the mid lane, too, means that Teddy is even going to steal the wolf.
And
He's
right now,
putting his dominance right now onto the Rift.
SKT, they have an Infernal Drake. They have a 3,000 gold lead. But I would still say the edge is still currently in Kingzone's favor. As, take another look at this. Edge of Night popped. Pawn does the Emperor's Divide, says, you know what? Here, take me. he has a thing for insects.
Yeah.
All right.
Feels good.
Yep. So,
And,
well, Azir is a bird after all.
There you go.
Maybe he likes. Maybe he's not. No, I don't know where I'm going with that. You gotta.
You know, like.
You gotta come in a little bit earlier to save me. When
No, I was just seeing where you were going with that. I was very curious.
I was waiting for you to be the con to my Faker right there. You know, teleport in.
Not today.
I was behind enemy lines, but.
Yeah.
All right, Mata and Teddy clearing out vision here in mid lane. Kingzone, no obligation to go out on the map at all. They should just simply not push waves. Wait for all the waves to come into their tier 2 turrets, and then keep farming them over and over and over. Until 3 and 4 items. It sounds like a very fun experience. Well, correct experience.
You get the zoom in there onto Deft. He does have his Infinity Edge. Sivir in the LCK has a pretty bad, I'll just say, win rate. As now we're jumping onto Pawn again. This poor bird. See if he can go down as Faker does Zhonya's. And is going to ult over the wall. As now Khan in a little bit of trouble, but is going to be able to flash away from that one.
Teddy, meanwhile, in mid lane, pushing on valiantly. as he's looking to raise this mid-tier 2 turret.
Oh boy, running right in there, Rascal. Now he's the one that owns the Rift, just running at SKT.
And so now, here in this game, Mountain Drake coming up in 1 minute and 50 seconds. SK Telecom trying to get something done, but not going to be able to. They'll have to try to use Mountain Drake to lure Kingzone out of the base. But if Kingzone is wise, they shouldn't take the bait and go for a fight. It would be the opening that SK Telecom would need to try to bring them down and convert it into a Baron capture. But maybe Kingzone has other plans in mind.
Well, they're at least going to clear out the wards here, as really being careful about that one. Fawn returns to the top lane, and looks like he should be able to get this turret. Not much that Khan can do, and he's got a lot of attack speed, so Azir will be able to chunk down some of these turrets if he does get in range.
Mountain coming up in 58 seconds. Khan shoving the wave back immediately, only to be ping-ponged by one of the scaling champions on Kingzone. And Faker now going to do the exact same thing down here in bottom lane. As Deft shoving in one last wave, cannon wave, before the recall. A little bit surprised that Tushin didn't just utilize the Tongue Lash Devour to get it and split the gold between the two. Definitely a little bit of a lost opportunity. Klid trying to come in here to maybe catch Rascal out of position. He doesn't have the teleport available for the Mountain.
I've been a fan of the Kha'Zix play so far, even though he did take a couple of deaths. He's definitely opening up the map for his team while looking for those picks. He's got one level on Cuz here. As okay, we're going in. Faker gonna use that ultimate as he's going all the way downtown, and that's gonna get him low enough to get the kill. As the teamwork is in for SKT.
SK Telecom off that Thomas Kench kill. They're gonna be able to get the Scuttle Crab and the Drake. Pawn might have to use teleport to get out here. Yeah.
Yeah. Not wasting any time with that one. As SKT just going for the Drake here. It's theirs. No way for Kingzone to steal this one.
Oh, Klid gonna pick that up right at the end. What's gonna be the next spawn? A Clown Drake will grace the Rift next. As we take a look at how this was all coordinated, Faker just goes in really hard. Thick skin came out, but it wasn't thick enough. As the True Shot Barrage able to just finalize that kill there for Teddy. And so now with the Mountain Drake, some possibilities are opened up to SKT surrounding the Baron. That is the one true objective. Kingzone can take solace in knowing that a worthless dragon is the one spawning next. And so they don't have to capture that. There's no obligation for them to come out of their turtled area, as the dragon won't really do anything for SKT.
Okay, well, we've seen this before from Kingzone. Looks like Mana knows, and he's going in. He's going to be the one tanking it up. Stun goes down on a Faker, too. Mana, quite tanky, but not tanky enough to tank all 5 members. Faker also had to use his ultimate there, so nice pick from the side of Kingzone.
The problem for Kingzone, though, is inside of this angle, you can't actually start the Baron. Silas would be able to come over, steal the Kennen ultimate, and then just hit a 5-man slicing Maelstrom. Backed up by the poke from Ezreal, would just end up being disastrous. And so they do get the kill onto Mata, but that's gonna have to be all that they find themselves content with. As now the game goes back into a little bit of a lull state, and the question continues on. Can Teddy carry SK Telecom through a team fight on the Ezreal? She's the only hope that they have.
Yeah, it does feel that way, and I mean, he's super fed. 360 CS already. His bounty is the old 800 bounty right now, and he's got 3.5 items, almost 4 at this point with the two pieces there. So this guy, we've seen it before. He can kind of just carry by himself on the Ezreal. which is why we were expecting between these two AD carries, the Ezreal to be a higher priority pick. Finally comes out here in Game 3. Has been doing well so far, but still waiting for that big pop-off moment.
At this stage of the game, SK Telecom trying to utilize some good wave manipulation tactics. Pawn is always on an adventure in the side lane. Not having teleport, not quite sure what he's doing.
Oh, the Baron
They
is
need him to
started
wave
here.
clear.
Okay, Faker, though, trying to assassinate.
Oh, he got
He's gonna
caught!
get him! And he also has a Shroud. Look at him do that damage. And now he's got a Galio to come in and save him. Faker, with the assassination, totally shuts down the Baron attempt.
And this is the type of breakdown that I worried that Kingzone might start having. They're not playing to what their team comp is supposed to do.
Oh, they're going for kills now, too.
Oh,
Kingzone
no.
hanging around way too much. They do have the turret from the Azir as well as that.
Kind of
but
slicing Maelstrom.
look at this. They're just herding them into this top side. You're all right. We could have double Maelstrom coming in as that turret really wants to kill Clid. So, not in
That
range,
turret's playing
turret, you're
GoldenEye
wrong.
right now, yeah.
As, yeah, I mean, this is just, we're hurting
Here
them
it
in.
comes!
Oh, the four-man taunt into the slicing Maelstrom from both parties as Kingzone are going to be demolished. They do a lot of damage with their own slicing Maelstrom, but it's not enough. Only Cuz will survive as he wasn't there.
And SK Telecom now, with all of these kills, they're going to push on, raise the top tier 2 turret. They have the Mountain Drake. I think they can, yeah, they can push on for the inhibitor. And it's going to be Cuz is the only remaining member. You can see that he's doing janitor duty in the side lanes. He's coming back in, but Cuz, you don't need to actually be here. They can't push on for the Nexus. They're not going to anyway. Not sure why you came all the way back. He just wanted to see his own inhibitor fall. As SKT, they're going to be the ones recalling and now posturing for the Baron. But first, I do think that you just take the Clown Drake off the map, get the Elder spawn timer coming up. Now, if you're a Kingzone fan, well, I'll talk about that in a second. As we can see, Kingzone's mental fortitude not quite here in game number 3. They're taking a desperation Baron, unwilling to scale up like their team comp wants them to, not playing to their win cons. And like you said here, Valdez, they were getting herded into this turret. Turret can play GoldenEye all that it wants. Slicing Maelstrom comes in, destroys all the members from Kingzone as they are pinned up against the Summoner's Rift wall. And Cuz had to watch on as he's running there as fast as he can as Jarvan. But then he just decides, you know what, actually I'm just not going there.
Nothing he could do. He was too late. And now, with the Mountain Drake, SKT are starting it up, but they are going to be spotted. They don't want to go for any 50-50s, so not going to go for it. Even though Jarvan was in the base, Clid was pretty low.
SKT, they didn't get the Cloud Drake as fast as they should have, and so that's going to still prove to be a little bit of a thorn in their side. Now, if you're a Kingzone fan, you're looking at this. Kingzone's down 5.7, 5.8K. They're not out of the game yet. This is an identical situation to SKT Game 2. Azir and Sivir, wave clear for days. SK Telecom need Baron to win the game. Top inhibitor, doesn't matter. Closest proximity inhibitor to the Baron, which is where Kingzone are going to be planted around. They need to hold the phalanx inside of their red side jungle and never let SK Telecom into it. And then SKT cannot get the Baron. Azir and Sivir can deny it endlessly. As long as Kingzone play this song in a dance, they should be able to hold on long enough to persevere into forcing SKT into a team fight. Then SK Telecom are going to be the ones diminished to smoke and mirrors. But SK Telecom, they have one edge, one extra ace up their sleeve, which is the Elder. Because Kingzone can't defend both the red side and the blue side jungle the same exact way.
Kingzone now posturing, trying to look for picks up in the top side. It's been the name of their game all night. But Faker is going to be smarter than that, and they have the split push going on the mega zoom out. As Khan is down in the bottom lane. SKT also pushing in mid, and Kingzone kind of look lost
don't know
for
what
now.
to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting flashback to the series loss. That is what is going on right here. They don't seem to know where they are. They come into bottom lane. Zoom in on Khan, not sure why. That turret is on its last leg. Khan has teleport, Mountain Drake on the side of SKT. They seem to be showing a lot of discipline. They're not starting the Baron right away, and they don't need to. This is one of the key points about the Elder, is able to force Kingzone into a guillotine. It's able to fork them by making it so that they can't be in their blue side jungle and defend it the same way they can their red side jungle.
SKT really just trying to put down as much deep vision as possible. But they're doing a pretty good job, actually. And now Teddy has shown up. He's going to be the guy that will do most of the poking. But really, he just wants that red. As 3 carries on the side of SKT. Silas, Akali, Ezreal, all with no deaths. And with the Baron, well, trying to go for the kill down here, but he's got his own little moves. Does the Silas, as now the Baron will be, taken there by the smite of Clint.
And now with the Baron, that's going to be able to persist on long enough for SKT to definitely be in an advantageous position to capture the Elder Drake, and Kingzone can't be feeling too happy. They do have enormous amounts of wave clear, though.
They're going to be able to survive for a long time, that is for sure. Reminds you of that 90-minute game way back when. I believe it was also Azir Sivir. It was at least Azir, my memory. So you could definitely hold on for a long time. It's a different game since then, but the point still stands as the items are beginning to stack up big time for the 2 carries on the side of Kingzone.
Right now, Kingzone are going to find themselves in a pretty awkward spot, though, in about a minute and a half. As the Elder Dragon is extremely scary for the skirmishing team composition. And also the Ezreal that has 3 elemental drakes. Pawn, what are you doing?
They're going in. They want to get the kill, but that taunt was so good from the side of Mana. He's going to steal him.
No.
And now Clint's going to be able to get the kill in the back line. Rascal doesn't exist anymore. And
they weren't patient enough.
The Maelstrom doesn't even really happen, as it was seen and then it was gone, as Kingzone are getting demolished here towards the end of Game 3.
And that's going to be it, Valdez. Kingzone were not as patient as SK Telecom were in game number 2. They panicked and cracked here in the final game. And this is it.
That's going to do it.
The Nexus are going to fall.
SKT looks like they're going to be going to the finals with the clean sweep of Kingzone here, and made it look good towards the end. Kingzone cracked, but SKT stays super strong all the way to the end, and they will be facing off against Griffin in the finals at Jumpseal next Saturday.
And you know, one of the most impressive things for me this series is sometimes in League of Legends, analysts and casters, coaches, everyone will talk about mirror matchups and how impressive it can be for a player to play a mirror, play both sides of a matchup. Well, SK Telecom played both sides of a strategical matchup, which was the smoke and mirrors